Okay, here's my first ever video. Here goes nothing. Today we're gonna review Redwall, which I don't even know where to start with this book. Be honest, this is the book kids usually read at a younger age, and this book kind of allows them to get into the reading world and experience, many other fiction. But honestly, I read this as a 28-year-old adult, and a I just had a lot of fun. This was just a lot of fun. Where to even start with this one? It's the story of a tiny mouse called Matthias, and Matthias has a lot of courage inside, but he's kind of at the beginning of his journey. He's definitely kind of on that path to become a great warrior. And then throughout the book, a lot of comparisons are made to a character called Martin, the warrior, I think. Yeah, and there's kind of like a connection between the two characters that you won't know until later. Spoilers. And it's just such a lovely journey of your typical hero's journey, but the book is just a lot of fun, mainly because there's just so many goofy characters right and left. So I feel like that's the biggest plus of this book, is just a ridiculous amount of fun. I wish I was introduced to this book when I was younger. And the plot is simplistic, sure, but it works, and it works great. And throughout most of the book, you kind of don't understand how things are coming together. You're kind of reading the book and like turning the pages. Yeah, you have this great villain, by the way. What was his name? Clooney the Scourge, I think. And he's kind of, this villain and his army are getting closer and closer to like really invading the castle, and there's that tension, yes, but then also like our hero protagonist kind of goes on to a different journey on his own almost at the end of the book, which is strange. You kind of don't know how it's all going to connect together, but it does connect together, and it connects together. English, it connects together very well. But I would say, if there was any criticism for this book, is that things just happen to align perfectly for things to work out, right? Like, for example, Matthias just happened to find, let's say, the sword through like these crazy riddles, which, by the way, the riddles were fun, definitely not realistic. We're not expecting that from, a book like this, that from what I understand, the writer was very aware that this was written for a younger audience. So I totally get it. That's totally fine. But it was just one of those moments where it's like acquiring the sword of Martin the Warrior, which is like this legendary sword. In order to acquire it, they had to do certain things like solve puzzles. And it almost kind of reminds me of that scene from the latest Star Wars movie where you have this random item they hold up, and then the random view of a destroyed starship just kind of like aligns with this object they have. It's just so random. It's one of those things where it's meant by destiny for you to find it. And it's just one of those plot lines also. Yeah, like our main character is kind of has that aspect within him too. No spoilers. But beside that part, which I can completely overlook, this is just such a great read. And mainly because the world is really well fleshed out. First, when you start the book, first of all, great art, just lovely. But when you start the book, you're introduced to this map. And, I love maps. And just look at this map. It's just very nice. It definitely, at the beginning, it kind of feels like one of those old, almost like British, I don't know, like UK kingdoms, right? It's kind of like that, but with animals. But then, really, as the story progresses, you realize that this is a unique world. It has a lot of unique themes that I feel like are going to repeat probably in other books. There's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of questions I have regarding the Redwall world that I feel like will be explained in other books. So, as far as I understand, Brian Jacques wrote 22 Redwall books. I am honest, this book was so much fun that I'm actually considering picking up most of the books in the series. I've already got Lord Brocktree and Luke the, I don't remember, something else. It's like a collection of short stories. I have those two books. I'm reading Lord broccoli right now, and I'm enjoying it. And I'm actually interested to see if this series is really as good as this was. I might just read all 22 books, which is a crazy amount of commitment, I know, but it was fun. And, it kind of reminds me of a simpler time when we're younger and, we don't have much worries in the world. And I would love to experience a series of books that kind of take me back to that. Definitely the Discworld novels by Terry Pratchett were absolutely a similar, I would say, adventure, different vibe for sure. So yeah, that was Redwall by Brian Jacques. That was very fun. I'm looking forward to the rest of the books in the series. Have a good one.